I'm going to walk you through the CDL pre-trip inspection, just some basic things that you got to do before you get out on the road.
Okay, to start your pre-trip inspection, where the truck is off, we're going to go in here, we're going to open the door. We're going to make sure that the brakes are all set. We're going to put the truck in gear. We're going to turn our four-way flashers on, and we're going to turn our lights on. We're going to come out here, we're going to open the hood. Before we get the hood open, we can see that the headlights are working. Flashers on both sides are working. Turn the bright lights on. And you can see that the bright lights are working. Clearance lights are good. You check your clearance lights up top. They're all burning. So we're good from there. I'm going to go ahead and raise the hood. I'm going to do one side. Whatever we do on this side, you would repeat on the other side to do your pre-trip, but to not make this a long video, we'll just do one side. It'll be exactly the same on the other. You're going to come in here in your motor compartment. You're going to look at all your hoses, all your connections, make sure that they're good. You don't have anything broke. You're going to make sure you're going to check your fan belt. You're going to make sure you don't have any more than 3/4 of an inch play in your fan belt. You're going to come in here. You're going to check all your brake assembly, your slack adjusters, your brake pods, your brake hubs. You're going to be looking for, no more than 1/8 of an inch in your brake shoes. You're going to check the rest of your ductwork. Make sure that you don't have any oil dripping down on the ground. You don't see any oil running, any water running out. You're going to check your windshields. Make sure that you can see through them. All your side stuff is good. Your exhaust. You pull your battery box off. Make sure that your batteries are hooked up. They're all tight. Nothing's frayed, nothing's broke. You want to make sure that your air dryer, right here, your hoses are all good. You don't have anything leaking. Without it running, there wouldn't be a lot leaking, but sometimes you'll get oil in those if it's leaking oil and whatnot. Come back to here. You're going to check your fuel caps. You're going to make sure that they seal good. You're going to make sure that they've got a chain on them so that you don't lose them. Make sure that they hook up good. Airbags on the back of your sleeper and your shocks, they're all up, they're functioning. You check your air and your brake lines, your light lines. Make sure that they're all good. You don't have any wires showing, anything like that. You're going to check your drive line. Get a hold of it, give it a little wiggle. You can look up and kind of see. You want to make sure those have been greased regularly. Make sure you don't have any play in your U-joints. Then you will come back here, this first drive axle. You'll look back down in here, check your brakes, make sure that everything looks good. Your U-bolts, your spring hangers, that everything on your spring hangers, you don't have any bolts broke, you don't have any leaf springs broke, and that your airbags are good and that they're functional. You'll come back to here, your next drive axle, you'll do the exact same thing. Brakes, make sure you don't have any oil in your rear ends. It's dripping down on the ground. You don't have a crack in your rear end housing. Your U-bolts, your springs, everything that you did on the first axle, you're gonna do on the second axle. Now, we've kind of got into the trailer. So, you wanna look at your fifth wheel. You wanna look at your fifth wheel plate. You wanna make sure you don't have any welds broke. Your kingpin seems to be in, it's operable. There's nothing, you don't see any cracks up here in your trailer in the frame. You look all that over. Then you will get under here. Look back up in here. You'll need a light. You're not going to be able to see it on the video, but you take your flashlight, you'll shine, you'll make sure that your fifth wheel is locked. There's a bar that goes across that locks the kingpin from the trailer. You'll make sure that's locked, it's all good. While you're here, you'll check these back airbags, you'll check your brakes. You'll see that your lights are on, they're flashing. You'll kind of walk down the trailer. See that you'll check all of your lights, make sure that all your lights are burning, and then you'll come to the front axle on the trailer. Same thing as the truck. You check everything from the wheel inside. I didn't say anything about it up there, but it's part of it. You always check your lug nuts and your studs. Make sure that you don't have any studs broke. Your rims, you want to check those all the way around the truck. Make sure there's no gaps, no breaks in your rim. Your tires, can't have bald tires. Usually you should take a tire depth gauge. It should be 11/32 on the drive tires, 7/32 on the steer tires. Most guys don't have a tire depth gauge. They just eyeball their tire. They can tell. Some guys will take a penny or a dime or and stick it in there and see how far down it goes. It's not scientific, but it works. You get up under here, you check your airbags. You look at the frame all the way across. Make sure you don't have any breaks in your frame. You move back here, you do the same thing. You're looking at your light lines, your air lines. You make sure that there's no breaks, there's no frayed wires. Come around to the back. All your lights are burning. You're in good shape. Anything, brakes, tires, anything that you find, some stuff is, you need to report it. If you're an owner operator, you need to fix it. But if you drive for a company, they're gonna have a sheet that you fill out. You're gonna mark everything off. You're gonna check it off as you go. Anything that's defective or not working properly, you're gonna mark it. You're gonna turn that into the company. They should either fix it before they put you on the road or issue you a new truck or a new trailer before they send you out.
So will you show us how you're gonna get under and how you would adjust the brakes if they were out of adjustment on the
Okay.
Tailgate?
To adjust your brakes, these are a little different than the truck. Most brakes, they're all different. You have to have the brakes released. This nut right here adjusts them, tightens and loosens. This is a relief right here. So you will have to have a pair of pliers. You pull out on this and hold it out while you tighten this up. Once it gets completely tight, you will back it off. Most guys do a half a turn on the trailer. So if your wrench is right here, they will come around. If your wrench is in the 6 o'clock position, then they will back it off until their wrench is at the 12 o'clock position. that's a half a turn. On your tractor up front, guys do a quarter of a turn. It's the same thing. Some of them do not have that little relief screw. They just have a big 9/16 nut. You take a socket, you push it in, you tighten them up, you back them off a half or a quarter of a turn, and your brakes are set. Now, some states, you can't do that. Some states require you to have a mechanic that is certified in air brake adjustment to adjust your brakes, because he's going to check the travel on your slack adjusters. He's going to have somebody step on this and see how far this travels. This can only be, I believe, a half an inch, I believe.
That is correct.
You can only have a half an inch of travel in your slack adjusters. So a lot of guys, they just get down here, they adjust their brakes, they back them off, and they're good. But it doesn't always adjust those slack adjusters. They have threads on them. Sometimes you have to adjust that to minimize the travel in your slack adjusters that applies your brakes back and forth. I mean, we've pretty much been down the whole truck. You would do the exact same thing going up the other side. You always check these hub oilers. These hub oilers, this is what lubricates your rear ends. You pop that out, you can see the oil down in there. There's a line right there. You make sure that your oil is at they don't have to be full and running out, but they have to be up to the minimum line. You check those on everything.
If you're pulling a cow trailer, most states you're not allowed to have your trap doors open. It'll allow drainage to run out on the highway. That's a big ticket too. That's if you're hauling livestock.
You always shut your traps. Guys were real bad about leaving the sale barn, leaving wherever they unloaded. Their cow trailer is full of
manure and other
excrement and urine and everything else, so they, it costs $100 at least to have your trailer washed out. So they would kick their traps open and leave and string cow crap and urine down the roads. Towns got pretty aggravated at that, so they just started cracking down on it. You still see them do it. It's, guys will fill their trailers full of water, drive 4 or 5 miles, and then kick their traps open and dump it all out on the highway, which is not good for anybody. That pretty much wraps everything up. Whatever you did on the other side, you're going to come back and do on this side. You'll have your pre-trip inspection report. Is a form. You'll check everything off. If everything's good to go, then you move back around here, and you'll start the truck. Well, this truck has already been started, so it's already got air pressure, it's already built, but you turned it on, you got a warning buzzer letting you know you don't have any oil pressure while the truck's off. That's got to be working. Make sure the truck's in neutral. Now, you make sure that your oil pressure comes up quick. It came right up. All your fuel pressure gauge is working. Your tachometer is working. All your gauges seem to be in order. Now, when you first do this in the morning, before the truck's been ran at all, which is when you should do it, we brought it in here because the wind's blowing pretty bad and we're trying to get out of the wind. But when you start this in the morning, this is your air pressure gauge right here. When you start your truck, you're gonna have a light up here that says low air. If it's not coming on, then it's not working right. you're going to have a warning buzzer, and it should buzz until you get to 90 pounds. If you get to 90 pounds and it doesn't go off, or it takes a long time to build up, then you need to start looking for why you're not building. You probably have a compressor valve.
That concludes the CDL pre-trip inspection. Y'all have a nice day.